Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I'm continuing my gay movie marathon, and I finally got to one of my favourite gay films, Trick, from 1999. It's a really sweet little film, really simple little film about two boys who can't find somewhere to hook up. It's set in Manhattan. Basically, there's a band geek like this guy who's trying to write a musical. Very nerdy, very shy, and he goes to a gay bar after work. He catches the eye of a go-go dancer on the bar, and later, when they're both basically going home, the go-go dancer Jack walks onto his train carriage. So the band geek, Gabrielle, he looks at him, and Jack is sort of falling asleep, and he's of course looking like an angel and that. Then he catches him looking at him, and then he leaves, and Jack follows, and they try and find somewhere to hook up. Now, it sort of, I think, is just, a hookup for Jack initially, although he does have a thing for that type of guy. He did date a musical theatre guy once before. But they go back to the apartment, but unfortunately, Gabrielle's best friend, played by Tori Spelling, is there printing off resumes, so they have to get rid of her. Then the housemate comes home early and has already reserved the room because he's got some friend, a girl played by Laurie Bagley, who I think was in Veronica's Closet and a few other things. She talks, and she's like this weird version of Marilyn Monroe, but brunette, kind of Norma Jean-esque. It's really fascinating just to watch her speak. They kick them out. They go to a bar. When they go to the bar, a lot of Jack's little friends are all over him, and it gets a bit much. And Gabriel goes to the bathroom, and then he's confronted by Miss Coco Peru, who tells him a big story about how he met him on the subway in the same way. Don't think he actually knew that was his thing that he uses. And that they hooked up, and he was horrible, and he never spoke to him again and gave him a fake number. So he thinks this guy's just playing him. He leaves. Eventually, Jack chases, finds him again. He's back home in his apartment. You know what? I've forgotten the order of events. I know at some point they go to a piano bar because they're hoping to use their friend's place, Stephen Hayes, who's like an old queen performing there. They go back to his place, but then they bump into his ex he's just broken up with, and they end up getting them back together. Then they don't have the place again because they want to use it. Maybe that's when they go to the bar. But basically they end up back at his apartment because he wants to know why he left, why he's upset. He eventually tells him the story about the drag queen. He basically says, look, okay, this is just a hookup for you, whatever. That's all it was for me. I just wanted you for sex as well. So he hurts him because he's obviously started to like him over the evening, and they get back into the apartment because Jack appears to have lost his keys that might be in the apartment. They're looking for those. They talk, they argue even more. He ends up leaving without the keys. Eventually he finds the keys. He goes back after him. He says, do you want something to eat? He throws him the keys, and then he leaves, and then there's this moment where they're just like not speaking, and then he leaves. I'm like, but he yells out. He comes back. They go to get something to eat, and then of course his friend shows up with all her castmates, and they're stopping them from being alone together. They eventually have an argument. She has an absolute fit, leaves. They all leave. They eventually end up together and end up being able to talk, and they don't end up hooking up. They kind of share a kiss. He gives him his number, and he checks. As soon as he leaves, he checks on a payphone if it's actually his number. He gets his message bank, which actually says, it's Jack, you got me. And the movie ends playing this song that this guy wrote and plays sort of throughout the film, Enter You. And he's just walking off down the street in Manhattan, and, you assume they're going to, end up together and live happily ever after. It's just a wonderful little film. Tori's great in it. The two main characters are great in it. Christopher Campbell is the nerdy guy. Gabriel. John Paul Pittock is the really, really cute go-go dancer. He's not your conventional, handsome leading man, but he's just got this really cute little look. And I realised when I looked at one of the promotional photos of the cast, he looks like a guy that I know that I tried to date briefly when we first met. The only guy who's ever given me a rose in my life. And I'm like, yes, they definitely have a thing. There's something interesting about them. But this film did really well. It for a gay movie at the time, an independent movie at the time, it cost $450,000, but made $2,087,000, which, you know, if you know anything about movies, is a profit. Even if they didn't spend any, even if they spent a bunch of money on promotion, it still would be getting a profit. And they actually talked about doing a sequel in 2018 where, although these guys didn't last, they meet up again as adults, as 40-year-old men, and they fall in love again. And God, I want to see that. I wish that had happened. It was supposed to be released in 2019. I can't see any signs of it. They got the original actors back. Coco Peru was going to be in it as well. And I really wish that had happened. As far as I know, I found some Q&As on the 20th anniversary and some clips and a trailer and stuff like that. But I can't find any sign that the actual sequel happened, which is devastating. Because for a second I thought it had, because there's another horror film called Trick and it had a sequel called Trick 2. So when I did a search, I saw Trick 2 and it was like an hour and 50 minutes. I thought, oh my God, did they make the film? And no, it was the horror film or whatever it was. So yeah, bit of a roller coaster. But I've been talking for 6 minutes. It was supposed to be a 5-minute preview, but I couldn't keep it that short. Love this film, one of my favourites. It's just so simple and fun, and the guys are cute. It doesn't try too hard. It doesn't, you know, try to do anything more than it could afford. And it just really works. It's totally charming. And along with a couple of other films like Jeffrey and that, there's really only a few really good gay films of that era that really stand up that you want to watch again. And this is one of them. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.